Hey guys, it is warm and sunny here, and I'm going to be doing my review on Past Midnight by Mara Purnhagen. Let's just go with that. So here is the front cover, the back cover, and I think I'm going to start off my thoughts review just by reading the synopsis. I chose this book for the Richard Denny Book Club, which I will try and put a link below, and because it's been on my shelf for a long time, I've been interested in it, that's why I picked it up, and so yeah, that's why I read it. The only thing I will say is that, as you can see here, that's the book, and this hunk of, I don't know, like 40 odd pages in the back is previews of other books, and I really don't like it when books do that. Okay, a couple of pages of the next book, fair enough, but like 3 novels, no, don't do that with books, please don't. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so this says, I don't believe in ghosts, unfortunately they believe in me. Let me set the record straight. My name is Charlotte Silver, and I'm not one of those paranormal obsessed freaks you see on TV. No, these were my parents, who have their own ghost hunting reality show. While I'm usually roped into the behind-the-scenes work, it turns out that I haven't gone unnoticed. Something happened on my parents' research trip to Charleston, and now I'm being stalked by some truly frightening other beings. That's just a brief synopsis, I guess you could say. Now, I'm going to give this book a 4.5 stars. Now, for me, it was a refreshing read. Original? Not really. But I have my own experiences, so I guess when you are reading a book, your experiences can affect the way that you read and your enjoyment of the novel. And being who I am and having the experiences that I have had with ghosts and supernatural and energy and things like that in the past, this made for a frightening read at times, especially at night, considering that a lot of the activity that happens in my life generally happens around the daytime, because that's when I usually do my readings or things like that. But sometimes it has been known that there have been people in my house, and sometimes when you're reading a book like this, you don't really want to read it at night time because it just kind of sparks that fear, even though it's not intense. Saying that, this book was really great. I really enjoyed it. From the get-go, it had a very, very strong beginning for me. That's me personally. It had a very good beginning. I liked the way it started. I liked the introduction, how we got to know the characters, how we got to know Charlotte and her sister Annalise, and her parents, and what they do for a living. And that kind of fascinated me, that concept that, this is her life. This is the way that she has lived her life since before she was born. And I could really, really relate. And that's why I think I enjoyed the book and took so much from it, because of my own experiences with the supernatural and paranormal. So reading about Charlotte's experiences was sometimes scary, and I'm really glad that I did pick up this book, because I really do enjoy books that generally scare me, in a sense that, like I said, I can connect to that fear. If it's just stupid, mindless, kind of horror stuff, I do enjoy that, but at the same time, it's very hard for me to engage in it without wanting to just put the book down. This is one of those books where I really actually wanted to keep reading it. I was reading it on the bus, waiting for the bus, at home, just really relaxed when I read this book, except at night time. During the day, it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. Now, you're probably asking why I enjoyed it. So, was it a page turner for me? Definitely. It definitely was. It's only got 216 pages, so if you're a fast reader, you can pretty much get through it in a couple of sittings, if not one. But for me, I like to take my time and enjoy books, especially if I'm enjoying them, so it took me a little bit longer. But it definitely, when I sat down to read it, I absorbed it completely. I really liked the atmosphere, I really liked the characters, especially getting to know Avery and Jared and their situation. I like that kind of subplot that bleeds together with the story, because there is an overall plot, I guess you could say that, of course there is. There's an overall story about Charlotte and her family and what they do for a living and how that affects her after a situation happens. But there's also when she moves to a new place, which I don't believe it's Charleston. She moves to a new place and she meets these people who have their own problems and their own issues to deal with. And I really liked the ways that she could help them and the way that that friendship grew through the experiences of her life, and I just really like how that ties together, so that really did stand out for me. I'm just looking at my notes. Of course, this would be definitely a perfect book to read for Halloween, especially during October. Probably one that, you, like I said, you could probably read in the weekend. Really good if you just want to relax. Like I said, just relax with this book. It's awesome. I did find that Charlotte could be a little bit immature sometimes, and I could go as far to say that sometimes the content was, I think, for a more younger audience. I don't think it was for a very heavily, beyond 16 age range. Not that you can read it. I do think it was for a younger audience, so some people who are looking for that older teenage intensity that you get from novels like this, you may want to look elsewhere, but it's definitely one of those books that if you just want an enjoyable read, and you do think it makes you think a lot, but I don't think so much that it causes brain injury or headache or anything like that. It's actually quite good for that. And what I really like about this is that sorry, I just finding something. What I really like about this book is that it's not written in a negative way. I mean, I've read a lot of books, and I've read a lot of books that focus around paranormal and ghosts and spirits and things like that, non-fiction and fiction, and a lot of the time it's heavy in negativity. And while there is some negativity in this book, because otherwise there wouldn't be a book, it wasn't so saturated that I felt depressed while reading it. I felt too heavy. I felt like something was on my chest reading this book because it was all bad. It wasn't bad. I really felt like these characters did grow in their own little ways, and that's what's really important about a good paranormal book, a good YA book, that the characters are actually growing as well, not just being stable. And it wasn't very overly romantic. I don't really think there was a high romance element in it at all, and that was actually quite refreshing as well. I just think that the character development was really good, and like I said, I recommend it for a younger teenage audience rather than an older person. But definitely, if you would like to read this book, pick it up. It's definitely one of those books you should try. I think if you like ghosts and if you're fascinated with that kind of stuff, it's a really good take on a ghost story in my perspective. And I love the way that it was written, and I think so. I can see why some people may think it's written in a juvenile manner, but I think it's just told so simply that it's so easy to read. It's enjoyable. So I take that not so much as it being childishly written, but just something that you can really breeze through and not have to worry about purple prose or anything like that, because it's pretty straightforward. It's one of those books, really. It's just enjoy it. So I think that's pretty much sums up everything I need to say about this book. It is quite hot, so my face is a bit flushed. But I definitely will be reading the second book. I'm not sure where she's going to take it with the second book, because for me, this book summed it up in like a standalone version of the story. So I'm not quite sure, maybe another journey or adventure, but yeah, it's definitely a fantastic book to read in October. Definitely want to kickstart your month with something just easy to read. So those are my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this book if you read it, and if not, let me know what your thoughts are. I have heard a few mixed reviews on this book, but what is life without opinions? Okay guys, I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you for watching, and thank you and welcome to all my new subscribers and my old, and I shall see you soon. Bye.